Welcome back. We're still discussing effects of TV contents on children. The last question from me says, then what are the roles of regulatory body to protect viewers against some unsolicited contents and not proper for the society?
So, because we are on satellite television, the controls are NBC, Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation, does not control DSTV.
Oh, really?
It's satellites. They control our terrestrial.
Right, terrestrial. Okay,
yes,
that's fine.
So for terrestrial, they have a strong grip, right? They have very specific binding laws that control what is done on terrestrial television.
Yeah, okay.
However, for satellite television, they have international laws that regulate what is shown there, right?
Yeah.
And they have been to many, because as a lawyer, I know that they have been subjected to a lot of judgments of court. It was one of such disputes that led to them putting age limitation on almost all their
all
programs.
the dramas.
Yes, that you see PG, that you see age.
16,
it was
16 years,
yes,
18
it was
and all
disputes. It was disputes that arose that made them have to put those regulations there. However, it is still possible for countries, right, to say, okay, because Nigeria, we have one edge that we know, but we try to ignore. We have the numbers. So if we say DSTV, you know what, you want to air in our airwaves, we need this kind of control. DSTV will sit down at the table to have the conversation. They will.
They will.
If we say, you know what, it's okay for you to do this, for you to air this in our space, as long as you are bringing it into our space, we don't want it. Because they know the money they are making from our spaces.
They will comply.
Oh, they will sit down and have the conversation.
Yes. They will.
And then for our own media houses, for our own media bodies, you have Nollywood, because they show movies. African Magic is dedicated to Nollywood and
of course.
Now, it was carved out for Africa, for you to know how much money DSTV generates. They carved out African Magic for us, and they put it in a separate bouquet for us. Now, we shoot those movies here. They have bodies that regulate Nollywood. Yeah. They should also be able to regulate, to project certain images.
That's what I mentioned earlier. Yeah.
They should also be able to regulate, to project certain images, and not just so much about the storyline, the quality of the viewing, and all of that. They should be able to regulate those things. We don't really have so many cartoon channels. It's the foreign countries that have, the Western world that has cartoon channels. Yeah. And there are the reasons why I'm talking about the government saying, okay, we want certain kind of things. Because they have been requests to pass certain laws. I don't know if you know those laws. In the house, to accommodate some things that were accommodated abroad, they didn't allow. The laws got stuck. The bills got stuck at certain levels. If we know that we don't want them to be pushed beyond certain levels, then we should also be able to say, okay, we don't even want our children, as long as they are within these borders, they have not japa. We want to control what they watch.
Yes.
So it is what we can do if we are willing to put in the work to do it, if our government and if our corporate civil society is willing to speak up and put up a strong front to say, we need this thing regulated. These children, they are the only future we have. Shebi, we don't have money. It's these children. So we might as well do what we can to protect them being our future.
To protect them on every side. We need to protect our children on every side. What they view, even to where they go to, we ought to guide them too.
True.
We ought to guide them. It's not everywhere you want your child to be. You need to guide them so that they will be responsible in future. They also be in our place in future as parents too. I wonder if we allow our children to do anything, how can they also control their children? What kind of children are they going to bring up too? You cannot give what you don't have. True. It takes somebody who is well brought up to bring up another person to be also well brought up. True. So if a child is anyhow, children is going to also give birth, it's going to be anyhow. That's exactly what we're saying now. So that we will do things the way they should be. Now it's time for break. We'll come back to also be time for question and answer. Vivid View.
Say and do it.
This is VVView.